prepare to see his former team, and you know how much trouble they have had beating Denver, losing 5 in a row to the Nuggets. But you know what? They didn't have Luka. And the Magic on full display, getting the rebound up court to LeBron, who brings down the hammer. That happened right away, setting the tone. And in transition, Luka knocking down a deep three from the top of the key. He had 16 points in the first quarter alone. And in the second, with the Nuggets trailing 53-46, Nikola Jokic felt a lot of pressure. You know, the thought was without AD, maybe Jokic would dominate, but no. 3 defenders trapping him. He sends it out of bounds. Next possession, he's being double-teamed again. Tries to get it to Aaron Gordon, but sends it out of bounds once more as Jokic had his worst game in a while, 6 turnovers. Meanwhile, LeBron and Luka just kept rolling. LeBron bringing it down again, and the next Lakers possession, Luka takes another 3. Pull-up shot. He nails it, and the Lakers lead 63-54 at the half. On we go to the third quarter, and the Lakers are up 8. And it's Luka, another one from beyond the arc. He hit 4 out of 9 attempts from there, and the Lakers up by 11. Austin Reeves getting into it. Behind the back to LeBron for the layup and 1. And then less than 5 minutes left in this one, with the Lakers up 113-97. Jokic's pass is intercepted by Luka. In for the layup. Lakers by 18. And on the very next possession, Luka dribbling through 2 Nuggets defenders, puts up the floater, finishes with 32 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Lakers win 123-100. Here's Luka after the win with Lisa Salters.
Trying to feel like myself a little bit, playing this game. This was what I loved, so I'm just finally, being myself a little bit. So that's why I was smiling the whole game.
That's the Luka that we all accustomed and have been watching over the last 7 years. Especially you get that left side of the floor step back on. Pretty damn dangerous, and big time game coming tonight.
NBA analyst Quentin Richardson joins us now, and J.J. Redick said after the game that Luka needs to be the guy to control the offense. What did you see from him last night, Q?
I mean, exactly what Luka said. He started to look more like himself, started to feel like he's getting comfortable in his new surroundings and settling in. And we all know that Luka is a bad man, so whenever he does get comfortable, these are the type of things you're going to see. I think we're going to see much more of this moving forward with J.J. putting the ball in his hand the way he did.
Well, L.A. went 7 for 11 off of his passes last night. That's pretty good, including 7 for 7 on 2-pointers, Q. And next up for Luka and the Lakers, it's a home game against Dallas on Tuesday. The first time Luka's going to see his former team since being traded. He had some fire last night, didn't he? Just some good reaction after making some of those shots. What do you expect on Tuesday in L.A.?
I think this was right on time, man. You got to take your hat off to J.J. Redick and the staff for going into the break and figuring something out and coming out of the break with a game plan where they giving Luka the ball and making him more comfortable, making him the focal point. And with him leading the way and having a game like this right before the Dallas game, anybody who played and who's left the team and had to play against their old team, you see red when you see them. So with him having this 30-point game and giving you some of those looks when he's hitting shots, snaring at the crowd, snaring at the bench, that's the Luka we know, and this is right on time for the game going into Dallas, because when you play against your old team, I don't care what happens on Monday. It won't be because Luka isn't trying. He's going to try and give them 40. I know that.
Yeah, you speak from experience. You've faced a couple of former teams back in the day, right, Q?
Absolutely. Whenever you play against your old team, I don't care what your role is or how many points you average, you try and turn it up. You break a few plays, you take a few extra shots, and you try and get your game off against your old team every time.
Going to be a lot of fun to watch. Lakers 4th in the West, just percentage points ahead of Houston. Q, we'll see you back in a bit. Thanks. Take a little Hollywood flair to Denver last night. Co-stars Luka and LeBron putting on a show and establishing right away that was going to be the case. Very beginning of the game, Luka getting the board up court to LeBron, who brings down the hammer. We saw that a few times. Luka coming away with the steal. Final LeBron up court this time. And less than a minute in the half, Luka and LeBron connecting again. LeBron just Racing up court, Luka running the break, and LeBron on the finish. And then in the third, Luka, watch this. He's just going to whip that cross-court pass over his shoulder to the King, who dunks it home. Luka with 32 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. LeBron, 25 points, 9 boards, 5 assists. Here's the King on the connection.
I'm a natural-born wide receiver, and he's a natural-born quarterback, so it fits perfectly. You know, I've been running the floor and running lanes pretty much my whole life, and he's been throwing great passes pretty much his whole life. So it's not hard to get a rhythm when it comes to that. You know, it's just all about eye contact and him being a great quarterback like he is, and me being the recipient of it. So.
In fact, LeBron was an all-state receiver in Ohio his sophomore year in high school. So what does this QB1 to wide receiver 1 look like since the trade? Well, in their 4 games together, James is shooting 14 of 22 from the field on passes from Doncic. That's 66% compared to 49% from all other teammates.
Hannah, we have a full slate of hoops today across ABC and ESPN featuring some of the top teams in the NBA. We're going to tip off at 1 Eastern with the Celtics hosting the Knicks on ABC. Boston has won both meetings this season by more than 20. 3 straight 20-point wins would tie the longest streak by any team against New York all time. At 3:30, the Mavericks take on the Warriors in the Bay. Dallas has won the last 2 meetings, but Steph Curry has been lights out against the Mavs recently, putting up 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in 4 straight meetings. Then at 7 Eastern, the top 2 scoring teams square off with the Cavs hosting the Grizzlies. It will mark just the 5th instance since the merger that 2 teams averaging 120 points per game have met after the All-Star break. To end the night, we got 2 of the league's best scorers with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder taking on Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. The last time these teams met, Minnesota handing OKC their largest loss of the season, a 15-point defeat. NBA analyst Quentin Richardson back with us. Q, we have the top 2 teams in the East in action today, the Cavs and the Celtics. Which of those teams do you think has the best chance to come out of the East and get to the finals?
Jay, I know the Cavs have been leading with the best record wire to wire, but I'm going with the champs. I'm still going with Boston. I feel like they've been there. I feel like they know what it takes. And I feel like they're pacing themselves this season. I feel like they're starting to ramp up, and in this second half, we're going to see that. But more importantly, I have SGA as my MVP, but I still feel like Jason Tatum has been totally disrespected this whole season with the numbers he's putting up and the season he's having, leading his team in so many categories, and not to get the credit that he deserves. I don't know what it is. I don't know what more we want from Jason Tatum. He's the perfect role model. He's a ball on the court. He gives you no drama, and he shows up. He's available to play, and I don't understand why we don't give him more credit.
All that. Cosign. He scored 15-plus points in 92 straight games, by the way, the longest active such streak in the NBA. Okay, meanwhile, the Warriors get the Mavs today. Golden State 4-1 since Jimmy Butler got to the Bay. In what ways has Butler made this team better on the court?
Man, Jimmy has given them a shot in the arm of confidence. I mean, you heard Draymond at All-Star calling and saying they're going to win the whole championship. I don't know about going that far, but, I mean, you can obviously see that he's giving them that other go-to guy that they've been lacking. And he's giving them an ability that when Steph goes out of the game, he can still create buckets and get points on the board himself. He's gotten to the free throw line as much as anybody has since they've had KD there. So he's giving them a different wrinkle. And we all know that if they get to the playoff Jimmy is one of the best players in the playoffs, bar none. No matter what type of season he has, when he gets to the playoffs, he becomes one of the best players in the entire NBA.
You playoff Jimmy with Steph dropping threes, you never know. Jimmy has not committed a turnover in each of his last 2 games, Q, and has just 5 total since joining the Warriors. That ain't bad. Appreciate you,
Not
man.
at all. He ready to go.
Yeah, he is. Thank you, Q.